Good morning. Good morning. Munster and Leinster coverage has not started here. I see Tim. Good morning, Tim. Tim said it is snowing, so that may affect how this game's going to be played. James. CIW was looking for a stream. Sorry, I do not know. I'm watching here in New Zealand via Sky Sports. I know ESPN Plus does the Pro 14, but you have to be in the States. Or use a VPN. Sean, trying to watch on Air Sports. DNA, how's it going? Big V8 show. How are things in Hong Kong? Hate to think what time of day it is over there. I still haven't started any coverage here yet. So me and my son are just sitting waiting for that to start. Mark is here, Leinster man. How's it going? DNA, I've had my breakfast, had my coffee, ready to go basically. Yeah, weekend rugby.
I'm not going to daycare.
What's that?
I'm not going to daycare.
Not today. My son's here watching the game as well. Do you want to say hello to the guys?
Nah.
Nah. You sure?
No thanks.
Okay. Shy today. Viable Solutions, come on the red, 2 cents, mate. Get that shirt off you. Well, I think I got the balance. I got this thing hanging in the background. Tim, man, how's it going? How's your missus, Tim? Luke, how is it? Fleshing. The holiday was alright, man. It rained a bit, but not too bad. Can't complain, man. Really can't complain. 3:30 a.m. in Hong Kong. Goodness me, big V8 show. CW says Munster bonus point win. Jeez. Tim says to you, Garrett, good morning, little man. But it's nighttime where he is. The look on his face is shock. Hans, mate, how is it? Mark says Leinster win by 5. They've just started the coverage here. Kieran, Frank, snowy Galway. Man, it is not snowy here, but it's a bit overcast.
Is it gusting?
Don't know, did he say it was gusting? I wasn't listening. Leinster by 5, says Josh.
Dana, that's the team we played.
Yes, that is the team we played.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yes.
It was on the ball.
Yes, that's right. Roll, man, how is it? Hans says Munster better win this. Patrick, g'day, man, how's it going?
Why do you name Patrick? Because of the Patrick.
Yeah, this is a different Patrick. He's in America.
Not in Auckland.
Not in Auckland, no.
Is this the whole game, man?
Big Viet show, we won't blame you if you bow out early. -3 where you are fleshing. Oh man, it must be like 15 here. I don't know. Wife's all good. She's just tuning for the match. Oh, Tim, that's great news, man. She's really recovering. Mark's watching a blank screen. That's not what we like to hear. The players from Leinster are just running out onto the field at the minute. Whoa, Johnny Sexton has had a haircut. Henry is in the form of his life. If Sexton loses his head, Leinster won't have a hope. Well, he's lost his hair, man. Arthur, thank you for all you do. Thanks for me too. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. My son was just saying how we were playing with that team yesterday because we've got a little Munster rugby ball. So we had like a little set piece going where my 2-year-old daughter would throw the ball in. She'd throw it to my wife would get it to me. My son would run around the tree and I'd try to pass it to him to score. It didn't always go that well. Sometimes it did, but like my daughter would end up biting my wife and his hands, bit of a mixed bag. Speed is alright. Munster 16, Leinster 56. Goodness me, I can't imagine it. Larkham dropkick will win it. Not sure he's been named to the 23. 12:30 in Arizona, time for first Guinness. Healy, big kick to win it at the end. Oh, nice. I'm on the water because it's 8:35 in the morning and I've already had my coffee. How dull is that? My opinion as a Leinster fan, Sexton should be playing the bench and Ross Burns should be playing. Where's Ross's brother? What's his name? Isn't he supposed to be, is he injured? I keep hearing big talk about him, but then I always fail to see him play. 22 degrees here at night, that's not bad. 7:35 overnight. Right, we're about to have kickoff. Just kicked off now. Who do you think's going to win? Leinster or Munster? The red team or the blue team? It's still 0-0 at the moment. I won't blame you if you get it wrong. Just take a guess. Red team? Blue team? Garrett?
I think the blue team.
You think the blue team? Ah. Blue team. Harry Burn, there you go. Everyone is sleeping and New Zealand wakes up early. That tends to be the way it rolls. Smart kid. Rang my Irish mate to see if he was watching it, but his wife is making him play Zoom pub quiz. Wow. Zoom pub quiz. Looks pretty bloody cold, to be fair, with our plan.
Is it snowing there?
Doesn't look like it's snowing at the moment, but it looks pretty cold, eh?
Yeah, it does.
You can see their breath.
Yeah.
Right, big scrum. First scrum of the game, 1 minute and 45 seconds in. And it's going to be reset. Patrick can't predict who's going to win, but it's going to be close. Yeah, I think it should be close on paper anyway. Tim says he'd get a divorce. Goodness me. Isn't your missus sitting right next to you? Where's my kid? He's just sitting over there. Right, time for that scrum again. It's now 2.5 minutes in almost. Yeah, this time it goes in. Thank goodness for that. And it comes out. No more scrum resets for that one. Henshaw. Tipping down with snow before the game, man. That's interesting. Can't see it. Unless they got like do they have undersoil heating on this pitch? As a neutral with an uncle from Cork, gotta go with Munster. 1 degree, jeez. 1 hour away from Thomond and it's currently snowing, jeez. Not ideal. They have heating. Alright, that's why we can't see any snow on the ground. What's my actual profession? I work at a university here in New Zealand. Ruddock's been penalised.
When am I going to go back to daycare?
Tomorrow.
Okay, then where?
Then you go to school.
After.
I'll call the school tomorrow and ask them if you're cool to start in a week's time. Sound
this
good?
time?
In at least a week.
In 1 more week.
I think so.
How about this week?
You want to go to school this week? School hasn't started this week. School starts the week after.
But But Mum said it's time for me to start school.
Yeah, we still got one more week.
That's a long time. Is that when I turn 6?
No. Still way away from that. My dad, my uncle from Cork can't stand rugby, only likes Oxford United and greyhound racing. Goodness me. I was thinking because my grandmother, her partner of like 20 plus years was an Irishman, but he was from Kilkenny. That's like the closest connection I've got. So that would make him a Leinster fan, I think.
Dada?
The little man is cheering for the team in blue, right? Yeah, he's nodding. Hanrahan has just put over a pretty bloody sweet kick from distance. Great kick. 3-0. Kilkenny is Leinster. There you go. Yeah, man, pressure kick. Should check out the history of this fixture. Someone in the comments saying the rivalry between Leinster and Munster, the media's talking it up as being dead. That can't be right, can it? Now, Lama's just knocked it on from a high ball. When he plays fullback, it's one area of his game that I'm always a little bit kind of nervous about. Is that why they've switched him to the wing instead of fullback? But Keenan's not that big. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know.
Dada,
Yeah.
what can be a sidekick type?
I don't actually know. It's mainly Leinster media with off the ball, but didn't they have Alan Quinlan? Isn't he full Munster?
Maybe.
Is Damon Delaney playing for Munster? Yeah, bro. He was named in the lineup at 12,
Dada,
so
maybe
it should be him
a
there.
fighting one can beat it.
Don't think so.
Because
If they're saying it's dead, they're obviously not watching the matches.
Then,
Maybe they were talking about the results. Have the recent results been all...
then Dada, what is Abra's
Leinster's one?
power?
What's that?
What's Abra's power?
I'm not actually sure.
I know what one of his powers is. Sidekick.
Ah.
He's one of those sidekicks, I guess.
Off the ball, this is dreadful. Don't know why I keep watching it. I like it. I don't mind it. From Slovakia, Kevin. How's it going, man? Leinster are just too good at all sports. Quinny made a point that Munster always turn up to play Leinster. That would make sense. We're going to have another scrum. 7 minutes and 46 seconds in. It doesn't look that bad weather on camera, to be fair, but people are saying it was snowing a lot and the conditions are tough. So it's one of those ones where the camera seems to be a bit deceptive. Have I seen any of the Curry Cup games? I have not. I don't even know the results. Been all Leinster for the big occasions for a while, but they're starting to change. Both sides have had their purple patches. It's hard to know with the amount of changes the teams make. Like, I was tempted to look up some of the stats for the Pro 14, but like both of these teams seem to be almost at full strength, and I was thinking, how many of these guys have actually been playing week in, week out? Because some of the times when I've caught the Pro 14, it's been a lot of the, I don't know, squad rotation stuff going on. Must be a Munster man that said about the rivalry. He used to getting spanked. Oh, shots fired. What's up, buddy?
Did you know?
Is this a Pokemon thing?
Yeah. Yesterday on Pokemon, did you know I saw Ash catch the primate?
Wow. He's into Pokemon. Who's my Northern Hemisphere club team? Our man Mark sent me the first ever Northern Hemisphere club jersey. And that's the one I'm currently wearing. So I've got to have a soft spot for Leinster. But I'm also torn about that a little bit because Leinster are very successful. And my natural stated being is to back the underdog. And Leinster are really the underdog, so yeah. So I should be supporting like Zebra or something like that, right? A soft spot for Bath, that's for sure. First premiership team I got the jersey of. I know the team's name is Bath. Tim, yeah, better say Bath. There you go.
There's a blue in the bath.
Bath's not playing today.
Oh, wow. Why? Then I thought baths were wearing blue.
Munster have won a scrum penalty. This time they opt for touch. It would have been a pretty long kick. Bath, oh no. I admit it because Munster have beaten the All Blacks, whereas Leinster haven't. That's a point.
Who is winning?
Have a look at the score.
It is 3.
3, and the other team has
0.
0.
3-0.
3-0.
How about 10-0? How about 10-3?
Who do you think's going to score next, the red team or the blue team?
The blue.
The blue team. Back in that Leinster defence. Dougie Howlett, Blues and Munster connection. Yeah, there is that actually. He was one of my favourites when I was a bit younger. Very good player for the Blues.
Is the Blues
But then again, Isa Nathiwa played for the Blues as well. What's that, Garrett?
Are the Blues playing?
Nah, they're not playing at the moment. They don't start until February. Whoa, that could be a try. God, they went through so many phases. Munster on knocking on the door. But Ruddock might be under it. Get support in Scarlets. Welsh teams, man, they haven't been doing the business in the recent years, eh? Although again, I don't watch enough Pro 14. There seems to be a wee bit of negativity around the Welsh teams, at least in recent times. Tyke Burn. How the hell they got him moving from there, I don't know. Can't see a thing if the ball is grounded or not. On-field decision. Wow, try time. "13 phases. Man, it's going to be 10-0. Whoa, what a start. Oh, 12. Mark says, no way that's a try. Viable Solution says, that's grounded. Either way, 10 points on the board for Munster. It's looking pretty good. Almost a point a minute. Goodness me. And Llama's knocked a bloody another one on in the air. Come on, man. Leinster are often slow starters. Why Harbor Solutions played at Thomond Park 20 years ago. Is that right? That's just giving them their handicap, says Paul. Still Munster with the ball, man.
So when's Leinster going to get the ball?
That's exactly my question. When's Leinster going to get the ball, man? I don't know. It's all Munster at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
Do you think I should change into my red shirt? Or just leave the blue one on?
The blue one.
Leave the blue one on. Scarlets are another team that have to beat the All Blacks, albeit basically with the full Welsh squad. Got 30 smackers at 6-4 and Munster come on the Reds. The best team in the North Hemisphere. Peter Martin is secretly Fijian. Lama third drop. Yeah, man, he is struggling with those high balls, Mark. Big scrum for Leinster. They need nice clean ball. This Munster's going to be putting some pressure on. Clubs that have beaten the All Blacks. Yeah. There's a few clubs that have beaten the All Blacks. Someone keeps asking me to watch that Neath game. Leinster have just kicked it out on the full. Little set play, cross kick. That's a good 4 or 5 meters too big. Goodness me. Just not at the races at the moment. To be fair, Lama is being pressurised in the air. My boy Kinghorn just drops them with all the time in the world. Yeah. Now Munster have thrown it not straight, so it's a bit of an errors competition at the minute. Wingers just have to be solid under the high ball, man. That's his thing nowadays, eh? Wingers and fullbacks. My nurse just checked in. I am swearing like mad. I'm sure she's going to want to check your blood pressure in a minute, Mark.
Dada, who's coming back in this book?
I'm not sure.
What transform's coming back?
Maybe Starscream?
No. Remember, Starscream came back to life from Unicron's head.
Right.
The more big robots coming back.
We'll have to double check it a bit later after the rugby, eh?
Okay.
Wow. Kick and duel. It's not going the way of Leinster. Look at that ball. Wicked little bounce, and Sexton can't pick it up. Sophie, yeah, thank you. I am pretty well at the minute. It's an overcast day, so it's not too hot. Fleschen's son is also frustrated he can't play rugby. Darnell should be able to be playing rugby, but it's the wrong season. way behind. I've already seen the first try. Oh, what a kick is right, guys. It's 8:54 in Germany, the best time for a beer and rugby. Yeah, it's not quite beer o'clock over here.
What's a beer o'clock?
Beer o'clock. It's the best time of day to drink a beer. Do you like beer? Not yet, eh?
Yuck.
Yuck.
It's like drinking pee.
It's like drinking pee.
That's what I mean, yuck.
That's why you think it's yuck. Yeah, he can be adorable. Omani looks in a bit of strife. $6.55 in Australia. Yeah, it's not exactly beer o'clock there either. I'm sure Peter Omani's not going to come off.
Look at all the Omega Supremes.
There's quite a few, isn't there?
Yeah, let me count a minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 Omega Supremes.
7.
I even counted the normal one. So that makes 7. You thought it was just 1. But it was actually 7.
Been practicing those kicks at my field since it's been to rugby. That's a good idea. Yeah, we were practicing our set moves in the front yard yesterday. We're getting there. Marnie's just putting Leinster at a false sense of security. Yeah, no way Peter Marnie's going to go off, even when he looks injured. Lunchtime for Mark. That's not bad either. Just trying to find the stats of this game. Possession 77-23 for Munster. Bloody hell. Oh, but a good line-out steal there from Cronin. At the tail of the line-out. Can Leinster do anything here? His name will be back in March at the earliest. Okay. He might be fit for the British and Irish Lions. Him and Pollard will be coming back from injury.
10-0.
It's still 10-0, eh? Do you still think the blue team can win? Or do you think they are going to lose?
I think the blue team is still going.
You still think the blue team is going to win? He's got a lot of faith in Leinster, my boy.
I guess they have to try their best.
Ireland's team gets named on Monday for the Six Nations. Right, I've had a good look through Wales's team. I haven't actually seen the English team yet, even though I know it was named. Chop O'Mahony's left and right leg off and he would still play on. He is that kind of guy. He never looks happy. But he ain't going off for nobody. This is way better than the Curry Cup game between the Bulls and the Lions. Do I want to know what happened, or do you want me to go back and watch it later? I'm torn. I don't know if I'll have time to go back and watch the whole game. I might watch the highlights. Territory 84-16 to Munster. Bloody hell. 49 tackles to 11. England have a strong team. Were there any big calls in the England team? If you need to sleep tonight, throw on the Curry Cup. Oh, was it that bad? As an Ulster woman, it'd be very satisfying to see Leinster lose. Oof. Leinster are under all kinds of pressure from that Munster defence, aren't they? They're going backwards. It's messy. They're going to keep carrying it. Knock-on advantage. Irish mentality outside of Leinster is anyone can win but Leinster. Similar here in New Zealand, especially traditionally with Auckland. Everyone likes to see Auckland lose. But maybe not so much in recent years because we've been rubbish. Looks like Leinster are a bit shell-shocked. Yeah, they don't look themselves, whereas Munster look pretty comfortable at the minute, mate. Big fuss about Dan Lydiate being in the squad. It's an interesting call, man, for Wales. Like, he's certainly an experienced pick. I feel a bit bad for, like, Lewis Hughes and Botham. I wish some grown-up fans were like your young lad. Stick with your colours no matter how the game pans out. Oh, man, they've been turned over. But yeah, I agree, man. Like, there's a lot of Aucklanders. I talked to some young guys around here, which teams they follow, and you'd be surprised how many guys born and raised in Auckland are like, I support the Hurricanes, I support the Chiefs, just because the Blues have been rubbish. Leinster have a good team tonight. They've named a pretty strong team. O'Dogwa's been included in England. Wow, okay. That's a big call, but he's been in bloody good form. Was that Peter Romani got that turnover? Here he goes. Look at him. Eyes only on the ball. Wasn't O'Dogwu potentially going to be called up by Italy? Maybe that's why they called him up, because he's got Italian heritage, right? Big guy Jamie Roberts didn't make the squad for Wales. Yeah, that's true. I don't think he made any changes to the midfielders, did he? Rakatawa probably up for at least the beginning of the tournament because of a knee sprain. Oh, that's not good. He is a joy to watch, that big beast of a man.
Dad, did you have a chapstick?
Michael, I'm at 22.48. What's that, buddy?
Did you have a chapstick transformer?
I never had a Shaktakon transformer, but when I was on holiday, I saw one. I saw one in the shop, but it was too expensive, so I didn't buy it for you.
Okay. Was it too old for me too?
I don't think it was too old for you, but it was like $32, which is quite expensive.
Anyway, I don't really want any of the quintessons.
You don't?
No, because I don't think any of the quintessons can even transform. Only those ground sharks, like crocodiles, can.
Why won't Eddie Jones pick the Simmons brothers? He likes his number 8s bigger than Sam. And he's got all his investment in Ford and Farrell. So, yep.
Did I?
Yes.
Then did you have any Skywalk when you were a kid?
Nope, not when I was a kid.
How about
Roberts can go back to working in the hospital. So he's still going to play for Dragons.
How about Thundercracker?
No, I only had Dirge when I was a kid.
Was that your Falcon? Right? Well, those are your only plain Decepticons. So you just said, oh, I remember one. You also had that red plain Autobot.
So, oh yeah, I had Wind something.
I remember you had that, but you don't have it anymore. You lost it.
That's right. Adam says, crap performance. Leinster wake up. They've seemed to be maybe waking up in the last few minutes, right? He was helping out in the first wave. Yeah, I saw that he was helping out. There's been a few guys, like Mbanda was helping out in Italy. Yeah, no, it's really good. "25 minutes. Johnny Sexton is lining up a penalty. I think they'll take any points they can get at the minute because, yeah, first real chance. Delendez best 12 at the moment. He's a very good player, man. He used to get all kinds of stick in South Africa prior to the World Cup. Prior to that 2019 season, he was always very, very highly criticised. He's just one of those guys that would always cop a lot of negative feedback from the fans, mostly for not passing the ball. Saw Jamie in Cardiff the week he said he got COVID. Yeah, it's not ideal, but he got better, didn't he? There was a bit of controversy about that becoming public, wasn't it? "26 minutes in, it's 10-3. Still, it's been mostly Munster, eh? Luke McGrath takes the mark, and we will reset. My son-in-law was saying, go get a picture. Yeah, probably. Fortunate you didn't, mate. Be socially distanced. It was snowing that much you could hardly see Munster written on the seats. Bloody hell. Can't hear what Johnny Sexton is saying, but it would not be appropriate for TV. If you could hear it, not a happy man. I can't help but wonder if Sexton's done his own hair. Anyway, he's got a bit of a buzz cut going on. Not that it matters. Man of the match so far. One of the Munster guys, probably Peter O'Mahony. Could I watch the old Neath All Blacks game? I'll have to have a look and see if I can find it. I know the highlights of that game. I think I've seen them hundreds of times. I don't know that I've ever watched the full game. Seen Jamie from the stands, but up close, he's a unit. Some of the guys are like that. They don't look that big on the field, and then you stand next to them. Come on, Lama. There he goes. Chip and chase. Here we go. Not enough. It's on YouTube, the full game? Good. Sexton looks even more like Matt Damon. I never thought about that before, but now I'll probably not be able to stop seeing it. How's Ringrose been playing? Oh, haven't really noticed him that much, which is either not a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. Good chance here for Leinster, man. 5 metre scrum. Reset. Of course. Scrums have not been all that clean in this one. American is calling Llama Lover. Goodness me. You got American commentary. Here we go. Leinster going to pile on some phases here, surely. James Ryan goes close. McGrath, Sexton, cross kick. Too big. Back for the advantage. Do you want to go play? Sure?
I've heard this place. I've been from the start to here.
Wow.
When they defeated Unicron. I see Wheelie.
Wow, I hadn't noticed him before. Conway not playing. That's a weird one for me. I don't know. He's probably my favourite Munster, maybe Ireland winger. So, don't understand it. I assumed he was injured if he wasn't playing, but maybe it's rotation. You can. Can World Rugby ban line-out mauls? No, definitely not. Johnny Sexton being a bit shirty with his teammates. Surely not Johnny. That doesn't sound like Johnny. We're already 32 minutes in. First 20 were all Munster. Last 12 probably been more Leinster. Misfiring line out, but Sexton still got the ball. If they can score a try here, they'll be very happy with the way the game's turned around. Somebody did say Leinster start slowly.
Can you tell me who won? Can you tell me who wins that
Yeah, I'll tell you who wins later.
after the rugby's finished?
Scoreline is 10-3, isn't it? 10-3? Does that look funny on the camera? Jeez, Leinster are close. Ten phases. Ooh, Tyke Burn might have got that one, or he's been penalised. Are you going to do the Wales squad? Yep, I will do the Wales squad. I will.
What is the Wales squad?
Wales, it's a rugby team. They named their team, so I'll have a look at it. Who's playing the better rugby so far? First 20, it was easily all Munster. But in the last kind of 10, 15 minutes, it's been more Leinster. Notice my sarcasm with Johnny, I know. I mean, some of those guys at the elite level just need to be temperamental to do their job, right? So he's just one of those guys. You're in Ireland and behind me on some of the play. Really? I'm at 34.08. They're just about to set a scrum. Go Munster. Go Munster. My college is right next to Thomond Park. That's awesome. What do I make of Amani at 7? Yeah. I think he's pretty versatile, man. He plays anywhere in the back row, really. He's played number 8 before. People seem to think he sucks there, but I don't think so. He's obviously not the same mold as like a Billy Vunipola, but you can see from guys like Kalen Doris and like, Sam Simmons, you don't just need to be a huge ball runner to be a good number 8. This is as close as Leinster have been, but what a turnover. Holy hell, was that Marshall? Bloody hell. What a turnover. Man. Who's that?
Chatter.
We'll find out. Will Sexton make the next World Cup? Who's the next one to play 10 for Ireland? Because Carberry hasn't played in God knows how long. Ross Byrne has not quite hit his full potential at international level, although from memory they've played him a couple of times at England when he started, right? So, like kind of a cauldron to throw him into. Great Munster defence is right, Patrick. Ruben, man, how is it going? Hope you are well in South Africa. I'll need a new halfback pairing from time for the World Cup. Yeah, well, Casey looks alright. Healy looks alright. Harry Byrne, from what people tell me, is very promising. Here we go. Turnover ball for Leinster. Nope, they're going back. They could get Ian Madigan from Ulster. Well, I guess Ulster have got Madigan and Billy Burns, so it's a bit crowded up there. How's it going, Reese? Munster Ben Healy is looking very impressive. And I agree. I have actually seen him play compared to like Harry Byrne. And Ben Healy looks the business. Fleshin, as a Wales fan, is hoping that Sexton makes the next World Cup. I bet you are. If the Lions tour does happen, which new faces do you think will be in the Bok team? Whoa, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Start of the year, last year, I would have said Fussy, but didn't he get injured? He didn't play in Super Rugby Unlocked. There's a few good fullbacks. Galant, but he's already been around the block before. But I can't imagine it'll be LaRue again. Old man Willie boy, how's it going? Stay insane indeed. What annoys me is how long Sexton takes with his kicks. Yeah, the ones even straight out in front, he takes the full minute, which is pretty annoying. But he's got his routine, I guess. Marco van Staden. Yeah, I haven't watched much of the Curry Cup, but I have seen Super Rugby Unlocked, and he was very, very good. I don't think they'll pick LaRue. But I mean, I could be wrong, but there seems to be loads of fullbacks for South Africa. But I guess it depends on what kind of game he wants to bring. Like guys like Galant and Fassi, and there's others, are a bit different in that they're more like X Factor rather than necessarily distributors. I'd be very surprised if the Lions tour goes ahead. It does seem unlikely at this point, mate. But we can knock on wood. Galant will probably be the starter. From what I've seen of him this year, he seems to be the guy. How's Damien Willems have been going in Currie Cup? Sad Kutsia leaving Ulster. He has been a good player for Ulster, putting it mildly. I reckon the Simmons brothers will be picked for the Lions tour. They can't make England, but they can make the Lions, you reckon? Damien Willems has been playing 15, so maybe on the bench. Yeah, but he may be the closest in terms of Rassie, who wants that kind of guy who can play 10-15 rather than an out-and-out 15. But I don't know about Willems. Under pressure, he still seems prone to the odd choke. Ox, yeah, Ox is a good player, especially with the Beast retiring. A bit inconsistent films, that's exactly right, mate. The players from Hogg to Sexton and Farrell said they want it played this year, crowd or no crowd, and South Africa will do anything to play it. Is that right? Eddie is the Mourinho of rugby, so no interest in developing talent. Koo and Bosch. Thank you, Ruben. I knew I was missing somebody else, yeah, who can play 15. He's defensively pretty frail, which is the main concern, but overall he's got a big old boot. He's a good attacking threat, good distributor, goal kicker. Mourinho does develop talent. Eddie does seem to like big men. Coffee and beer, bro. I'm on the water. What can I say? Did you fix it?
On the carpet.
Oh, wow. It's awesome. Just open a second bottle of Kiwi Sav Blanc. Which one? You can? On the carpet?
What's this?
Show me. Oh, he's just missed that kick Henry hand. Oh. Oh. It happened when I wasn't looking. Back for a penalty. I think Leinster will just kick it out here. Didn't you watch the T20? Nah, I didn't watch it, bro. The rugby players against the cricket players. And yeah, I think Geordie Barrett is one of a few guys who's played high-level cricket and rugby. Hussein is coming back to the Bulls. Probably not enough time to make the Lions squad. Man, the Bulls are a stacked squad now. Jack White's been able to lure so many big names back. Where are they getting all that money? Hanrahan's kick just hit the post, by the way. Could be costly later, but you never know. Huchard is returning to the Bulls. Yeah, I've heard rumours about that as well. Harry Byrne, Ross's younger brother, could oust him for the position of Sexton stand-in. Very highly thought of. Yeah, Paddy, I have heard heaps of good things about him, but I don't think I've yet seen him play. But yeah, it's promising. If I've seen him play, it's only once, maybe. I think once he was named and then dropped out at the last minute. Is it halftime yet? Not quite. The clock's gone 42 minutes. Munster missed a shot at goal. And then Leinster won a penalty in their own 22, so they decided to go for touch. So they're up to about halfway now. Yeah, Lambie had all kinds of issues with his health, not just concussion. But it was interesting the other day, I was watching some highlights of the whatever Super Rugby final, like 2013 or something. And Lambie was at that time 21. And they said he's just returned from injury. So, like, that guy from the start of his career to the end was always struggling with injuries. Got snow in South Devon. Bloody hell. Oh, big hit. But it's another penalty to Leinster. He has better game management than Ross, and he's an equally good kicker. Fair enough. I will have to keep watching. Johan Rupert, billionaire rich South African, sold his entire stake in Saracens and pumped it into the Bulls. So they are rolling with the biggest South African budget, and it shows with all the players they have signed. It's good. It's good. I'm happy to see players coming back to the South. Usually they leave for the North to get bigger money. So, what sports other than rugby do I follow? I used to follow cricket, but I haven't followed it for at least 15 years. I used to watch a fair bit of football, soccer. But a couple of World Cups ago, not the last one, but the one before, I just got really, if I can be blunt, pretty pissed off with all the antics rolling around on the ground, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't watch it. Every time someone gets half a shove, they roll it around like they've been shot in the back, and it was destroying my brain. So I haven't really watched. I follow it a little bit. I follow the results, but I don't watch the games anymore. I watch a bit of ice hockey. It's another sport, kind of like rugby, that they're not real big on the simulation stuff. They're pretty hard on it. Good penalty. Big moment. So, instead of Munster getting that last 3, it's Leinster bring it back within even closer touching distance. Everyone in Ireland treat Leinster the way the Crusaders, they want them to lose. Yeah, I can imagine. Call that tall poppy syndrome over here. They are the one that grows higher than everybody else, so we all want to cut them down. Been following NHL this year, but still deciding who my team is. Such a physical game. Yeah, I don't mind the NHL, honestly. Of all the American sports, North American sports, that is my favourite. Chose the Bulls as your team to follow. That seems like a good choice, indeed. Follow football and played it this season, but yeah, find it less physical. Like, I don't mind the fact that it's less physical. I don't need to watch a sport that is like guys crunching each other. Like, I can equally watch these skilled guys playing soccer, football, but I can't stand the play acting, the Hollywoods, when they've hardly been touched and they roll around like their legs broken. Like, I just can't. You're a grown man. Don't do that. That's silly. Can't take it. Fair weather rugby fan. Bloody cold there in Ireland by the looks. Yes, kind of like here in Dallas. Well, not like here in Auckland, man. It's pretty decently warm anyway. Halftime is now, man. It's hit halftime. I'm just about to have a look at the stats to see how things have evened out. Big V8 show. All right, man. You have a good sleep. Seeing as it's probably like 4 o'clock in the morning in Hong Kong. Right, possession. Remember how I said at one point it was like 80-something to Munster? It finishes at halftime 35-65 in favour of Leinster. Defenders beaten 4-18 in favour of Leinster. Territory 36-64 in favour of Leinster. Number of tackles 105-60. Munster having had to make more. Turnovers 2-1. Favour of Munster. Bloody hell. But scoreboard still in favour of Munster. Everyone goes on about rugby in Wales, but to be fair, Cardiff and Swansea are big soccer towns as well. I can imagine with all the money in soccer, you guys would be mad not to play a bit more of it. We're just really bad at it here in New Zealand. Cricket puts Sean asleep. It is a pretty long game, to be fair. Ringrose and Lama are needed by Ireland badly. Great to see them back, stepping people inside out. That is true, Owen. Will I be watching Poirier versus McGregor? I've seen a little bit of it built up. I keep seeing ads for it everywhere, but I'll probably just watch it after it's finished. I will not pay to watch it. What's your favorite MLR team? Favorite MLR team? Do I really have a favorite? I like the jersey of the Free Jacks. So for one thing, that would be them. I like seeing Matanonu play for the Legion. So yeah, I don't know if I have an out-and-out favourite. Liam, man, how's it going? If you can put on more calories than you burn, I like cricket. Is it really a sport? Cricket, if you're playing it, the majority of the game is spent sitting down or standing in the field. Very rarely, unless you're the wicket keeper, you don't get that much to do. It's true. Munster have shot their load. Leinster will drop the gears and pull clear. Wind in favour to Blues. So it's going to be second half good. We'll see, Joe. Ruben says, who's your MLR NHL team? It's the Islanders, the New York Islanders. Of all teams. When I started watching the NHL when my son was just a little baby and I was on parental leave watching NHL all the daytime instead of watching daytime TV, they had a good playoff run for the first time in ages, so I kind of got behind their team. And also, like my Blues, they're a team which used to be good years ago, but have been rubbish for years and years and years. So I feel kind of a connection as a Blues fan. How heavy is an amateur Ford pack combined in Rugby Nation's bigger than Germany? Where'd that come from? I must have missed something. Hey, how's it going, Frank? Would recommend checking out hurling. It's the fastest field sport in the world. I've honestly never seen hurling. Literally standing in the field, looking at the sky, then a full meal during the game. That's cricket. Yes. Yes, cricket can be a lot of time spent around doing nothing. It's true. What position did I play in rugby? I only played at lunchtime, man, so nothing formal. I played cricket because I was a skinny white kid. What can I say? I bashed cricket only because I was rubbish at it. See, I was actually okay at cricket. I was decent. Not great. But, yeah. Didn't keep playing. After I was like 17, I think I quit. What's happening with that Hawaiian rugby team? Still no news on it yet. They're still trying to sort it out. Did you watch the Saracens versus Trailfighters Hearts? I haven't seen them, but I did hear about the result. AY likes rugby league. I don't watch much rugby league. I find it a bit samey, but I don't know the game. So that might be why. Hurling is the less violent version of shinty, and I don't even know what shinty is, so that sounds dodgy. Hurling, a game played by 30 lunatics with sticks and a license to kill one another. It's bloody amazing. Okay. Among my notes, I will write, watch hurling. Is there a reason only the Irish play hurling? I've only seen highlights of hurling, but it looks fun. I've watched the Challenge Cup and Rugby League and the Four Nations. Okay. What's with France and the Six Nations? They should be good to play the first round, and then we'll have to see what happens. Rugby league is good fun. It's fast-paced, proper Northern England sport. It's kind of start-stop, but I guess so is rugby union at times, eh? My big dog is on top of me and I can't breathe, so send help. You're on your own, Sophie. That's what you get for having a big old dog. Shinty is the Scottish version, but proper amateur. Hurling, from the looks of things, and if I remember correctly, is hockey combined with tennis and a dash of rugby. Is it different from, what's that, lacrosse? They've got Super Rugby highlights on here during halftime instead of putting on any halftime show. I think this is the game where Bryn Gatland kicks a last-minute drop goal to beat his dad's team. Munster is my team because of Van Graan connection to the Bulls. You need to have some kind of connection to support a team, eh? Even if it's just a favourite player or a favourite coach or something. Darnell just got back up from bed in Australia. Good man. Ice hockey, Tampa Bay. The Lightning. Bloody hell. No, not the Lightning. Steven Stamkos. No. Rugby, rallying, and motorbike racing. They play shinty hurling internationals with composite rules, and it's pretty mental. I'll have to have a look. Having issues with the phone. Apologize for the strangulated text. No worries, Frank, man. All good. Lacrosse is also super physical. A lot of big hits. That's also what I've heard. League World Cup is this year. Some pretty weird countries that you can tell where have big immigrant populations in Australia. Yeah, rugby league is not, I don't think, like properly international the same way union is. There's a handful of countries which play it. Oh, you got the flu. It's no good, Darnell. Take care of yourself. Played lacrosse at uni, was physical, getting smashed. The other guy in a South African shirt felt good after they spanked wheels in the rugby. Take him where you can get him. Did I watch the Australia-India Test Series? I did not. I haven't watched cricket for a long, long time. In England, Sky Sports just shows Irish adverts, which is annoying. Fair enough. What happened to Brad Shields? Haven't seen him for a long time. I think he's still playing for Wasps, but he's out of favour with England. I don't know where Fort William is, so that joke's above my head. Darnell hates cricket. I don't mind cricket. I just don't really get into it. It's another sport that's got a bit of match fixing or spot fixing history. Hurling and lacrosse are equally murderous, but hurling has no net on the stick. Okay. How the hell does that work? I'll have to watch it. I came to this game to get my palate cleansed after watching the awful Curry Cup semis. I haven't seen them, mate, but I have heard in the chat just this morning that they were not the best watch. Cricket for me is the sport you have on in the background with the sound muted. You catch chicken, especially cricket. That's true. Cricket is okay if you literally want to have it on in the background while you're doing something else and then check, they got a wicket. Yeah, cricket is very reliant on the commentators talking some bollocks to kill the time because there's not a lot going on for a lot of the time. But it's a stats dream because it's so one-on-one with everything. And Sophie has managed to escape the clutches of the big dog. Second half looks like it's about to get underway. Only thing cricket people seem to agree on is they hate the Australian team. The Australian cricket team are a notorious bunch of so-and-sos. That's true. Hurling is like 1,000 years old or something. Bloody hell. I've written a note to have a look, so I'll see if I can watch some. Waiting for the Munster box to take the field. See if anyone bites on that one, Joe. The point of cricket is to beat Australia. Right, second half is underway. You would love doing a cricket scorecard. I know, I would appreciate the stats element of cricket. That is true. Bulls versus Lions, never boring, always intense. I'm 2 miles away from Thomond Park. I don't have the channel to watch the match. Here watching me watch the match. Oh, that's a pity, David, that you can't watch it, but yeah, it's still pretty tight. Watching in Cork. Seems to be a few Munster fans here. Up down in the Curry Cup, the Sharks Western Province game nearly put me to sleep at Purdy since Newland's last game. Oh man, that does suck. Bulls Lions also stop-start with a lot of knock-ons. Was it bad weather or what was going on? Honestly, my top rugby YouTube channel vids are always quality. I appreciate that, Robert. I don't know about the quality, but I'm definitely a quantity guy. What can I say? I love watching a bit of rugby. Talking some stuff. Love the videos. Keep it up. Appreciate it, man. Pivak is so biased choosing many Scarlets players. Yeah, I'll do a video on... oh, Evan's watching in Limerick. Good man. I'll do a video on the Wales squad at some point, and then the England squad, and then once the Irish squad comes out, I'll do that one as well. Hopefully the bloody competition gets underway, eh? Lama didn't even go for that one, and Munster got it back. Whole South African season was rubbish, honestly. Even if the Bulls dominated, everyone was disinterested, even the players without the fans. And only like 40% pay. Are they only getting 40% pay? That's tough. I didn't mind Super Rugby Unlocked because I got to see the Griquas and the Pumas, who are teams that I don't normally get to watch, and I got to get exposed to some players who I had never ever seen before, which was fun. Six Nations could become the Four Nations, no Italy or France with the travel restrictions. That might be right, man. France have only committed to that first game against Italy. Other than that, they are being very cautious. We're 3 minutes into the second half. And it's just Munster going through some phases at the moment. Peter Amani out on the wing. Someone mentioned him being a wannabe Fijian, or a part Fijian, secret Fijian. That's where he likes to be these days. Do you have cattle in New Zealand or just sheep? Traditionally, we had a lot more sheep. I think we still have more sheep than cattle. But the number of sheep farms is way down. The number of dairy farms is way up because there's more money in dairy. Got to get Sexton angry and we'll win. I take it you're speaking as a Munster fan because Sexton, when he gets angry, tends to have the odd brain meltdown, doesn't he? Don't know why the Six Nations doesn't move to summer. Didn't they do that at the end of last year? Looked alright. But I don't know. There is something about seeing those games played in the less than favourable conditions, which is appealing. I grew up in suburban Auckland, Rodri, so yeah, Auckland city rather than country. Penalty to Munster on 44. Should do a video on the best logo in club rugby. I did a video on the Super Rugby logos. I think I ranked the Lions pretty highly, to be fair. They've got a pretty nice logo. Kiwi question. Do you believe that Bodie robbed Savia of 3 Player of the Year awards? No. But Savia was good in his prime, that's true. Harlequins is the best logo in England. Best logo in England. That's what I keep behind this whiteboard. It's all the logos. I'm still in lockdown in New Zealand. We can't even buy a beer here in South Africa. We watch rugby drinking coffee. Nah, bro, we are not under lockdown. The only difference from kind of everyday life is you are supposed to scan QR codes to register every place you go, but most people do not. And if you take public transport, I think the buses here, you're supposed to wear a mask. Most people do. And on the planes, you are legally required, domestic flights, you're legally required to wear a mask. That's about it. Otherwise, it's pretty much business as usual. I like the Munster logo. The deer is quite majestic. Actually, my son asked me yesterday. He said, is that a reindeer? I said, no. I don't think it's a reindeer. I think it's a deer. Wasps is quite nice. Yeah. Who else has got a nice logo? NZ be the envy of the world the way we did so well. Well, we are a small country at the bottom of the world, so we did have a bit going for us. I'm sure we have a lot less flights than most countries. Has Hanrahan missed that? Holy sugar. That's a bad miss. I was pretty much ready to just write down that he just nailed that one. Big let off. Big let off. Scarlet's, yeah, Scarlet's one is pretty nice. What can I say? Wearing a face mask on public transport is probably sensible anyway. Yeah. With all the people coughing and spluttering, no matter COVID or not, it's probably not a bad idea. In the UK, it's faster to say what we can do than what we can't. Hey. Regards to shirts, the Force may now have the best shirts after the Hawaris merger. I do have a Western Force shirt. I think I've already put it away, but it's really nice. It's really nice. Nice fabric. I work as a rugby agent in London. Have you ever thought about being a scout agent? I have not, Nick. I have not. That would probably require a lot of travel to games, I would imagine, eh? Instead of sitting on my fat bum at home. I did see the Women's World Cup is hiring for a few positions. I did have a look at some of those, but I don't think I quite meet the requirements. Osprey's badge is better than Scarlet's badge. My son likes the Ospreys one, I gotta admit. Gloucester has a nice one. JJ was such a prospect 21, was amazing World Cup, but didn't get a push, ended up heading to UK to Northampton. Such a shame, he was a great prospect. Rugby Scout. I can imagine myself doing something with stats. I don't know about scouting. Maybe. Saracen's logo is pretty boring. Man, Munster keep winning all the penalties at the minute. It's just like the first half. It's a pretty much rinse and repeat. They got all the ball, winning all the penalties. Videography would be fun to do, that's true. John Ryan and James Cronin putting in a great shift so far. Hands up for the green jersey. Those guys seem to be... Like, both of those guys have been capped, right? But not a whole lot of times. Do you think Faletau is better than Vunipola? At the moment, probably. Faletau's been in the form of his life, which is nice after all those injuries he's had. A French logo for me in the tops class too. The French logo. They changed their one a few years ago, didn't they? Married at First Sight in Australia is the funniest show right now. Goodness me. Where's that come from? That's left field. Is James Cronin related to Sean? I do not know. Current Faletau's better and at prime levels, I'd say so. Yeah, he suddenly had a bit of a renaissance in his career, eh? We love you, 2 cents. How do I say your name, bro? You got an Irish name, which I'm going to butcher if I try and pronounce it. But I appreciate the comment. I can Google how do you say your name later. Was also interested in stats, but the whole... Oh, yes, thought about election of the right people. How is New Zealand doing without tourists? Some industries are doing really poorly. Hospitality is doing poorly. There's a few cities which are really reliant on tourists, which have a lot of shops closing down, restaurants and whatnot. But other areas are doing really well. It's really weird. They're struggling to find people to pick fruit over here. New Zealanders don't want to pick fruit because it's hard work for not that much money. We always get people from overseas to come pick our fruit. So it's a weird one. Porrick. Thank you. Porrick. I wouldn't have got that right, so thank you for the tip. How are rugby players the only ones bringing the mullet back? Bro, you would be surprised. I was in the South Island this week, and there's a few mullets down there. Doris is better than Vunipola. He's a different style, eh? Doris is more like a skills guy, whereas Vunipola is just... Well, I don't want to say just bulk, but he's largely a large human. Porrig. Okay. Will you be allowed to head to China anytime soon? Nah, bro. Not allowed. My missus could go, but she would have to isolate. And my kids could go. They would have to isolate for 14 days when they arrived in China. And then they would have to isolate for 14 days when they came back to New Zealand. So, nah. Free mullet with every pack of Spates. Yeah, Michael knows. Can I speak? Yeah, I speak pretty decent Chinese. I lived there for like 7 years, man. So if you can't speak the language after living there that long, there's something wrong with you. So, yeah, I'm definitely conversational. How's provincial rugby going to work in Australia and New Zealand this year and next year? They got Super Rugby Aotearoa lined up for New Zealand for end of Feb, and AU is going to happen over in Australia, and then assuming we can get travel arrangements sorted, there's going to be a Trans-Tasman competition, so between Australia and New Zealand teams, and then provincial rugby will happen after that, assuming everything goes well. I might consider becoming a plum picker in Wellington, watch some rugby and enjoy the first world life. It sounds good. Yeah, it's hard work picking fruit for not that much money. But, yep. Did I travel a lot? Nah, not really. I pretty much went to China and that's it. I haven't even been to Europe, man. Shocking. Which form of Chinese? Mandarin, bro. Mandarin, and a little bit of the dialect from that town I was living in, Wuhan, which is now world famous. It wasn't famous when I lived there. for a chance to go back to pre-COVID life, if that's ever going to be a thing, eh? Great to have Ringer back on the park. Yeah, man, Gary Ringrose. Somehow I still think is underrated. He's bloody good player. Anytime I talk him up, people bring him down. I don't know why that is. Son's mate was due to go down to play club rugby and pick fruit on his uncle's farm. Not happening now. I will bet it is not happening now. Sexton's off. Ross Burns coming on. Who's keen to see Reno Rangers tog out for the Crusaders? Nah, bro, that's going to be distressing to see him in Crusaders colours. I am not looking for that. Not looking forward to that. Liam's going to call it good night, bro. And no beer bans in New Zealand. Was I in China for work? I worked there for like 7 years. I worked a job in New Zealand, which was kind of sucky, and then I was like, man, Chinese jobs are pretty cruisy, so I bummed around for my 20s, and then got married and had kids, so reality strikes. What can I say? Still 10-6. There's no score in this second half. Hanrahan's missed penalty is the closest we've come to it. But Leinster on 54 minutes. Leinster have got a chance. 5-metre scrum. We'll see. Blues deserve that for the Carter job. We never played him. He didn't play any games. Oh, we never played him. Maybe because he plays the same position as Brian O'Driscoll. Maybe. That's actually a good point. He's got a pretty big name to live up to. That is true. Did I play Rugby Challenge 4 yet? No, I didn't. No, Porg, I didn't. Rugby games are generally not very good. McGrath. Ooh, Munster's defence is still ferocious. But Leinster have got the ball. Time to bring on Ben Healy. I saw him on the sideline. Is he actually on or is he just warming up? Must have been like 4 or 5 phases. A metre out. Doris is going to get it. No. Have you been to South Africa? Nah, Wayne. It's on my list. After COVID, it's definitely on my list. South Africa, Europe. Loads of places, really. Just need some money. Need to start saving. Once my kids both go to school, it'll be easier because then I won't have to pay for daycare. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here, kids, like, early childcare stuff is bloody expensive. But once they go to public school when they're 5, then they're kind of a lot cheaper. So, wow, what a turnover. Tyburn is absolutely fired up. Leinster must have gone close to 10 phases there. Bloody hell, it's the second time Munster have done it to him. Like the commentator's just saying, psychologically, that's massive. That is massive. Do you think if Michael Collins comes to play in Wales, he will fit in? He could also play for Wales. Michael Collins is like okay, but he's not great. If he gets picked, if he got picked internationally, I would kind of question some of the depth because like he's a solid Super Rugby player from what I've seen of him, but I wouldn't say much more. Grandad's from Llanelli. Right. So, yeah, he could play, but, I mean, he's okay. He's definitely okay, but goodness me, he wouldn't get anywhere near the All Blacks. Haven't seen much of Jimmy O'Brien on this one. 2 weeks away from the Six Nations. Yeah, let's hope. Am I going to watch the McGregor fight? I hadn't planned on it. How is the feeling about him in Ireland? Like, he seems to be a kind of love him or hate him kind of guy. Do Irish people like him? Or is he a bit too much for people? I was hoping Piggott would pick Jamie Roberts, but yeah, nah. He's not gone and picked him. James Lowe still injured. Yeah, I think so. He's a knob. You're talking about Conor McGregor. Depends what generation you ask. He's a divisive figure. Some are proud and love him. Others think he's an idiot. Yeah, okay. So it seems like that's pretty much the same feeling across the board no matter where you go. Some Irish like McGregor, but most don't. It's US 70 pay-per-view, and it's aired on DSTV without pay-per-view, so I'll watch it, but I won't ever pay. Yeah, here it's pay-per-view, so nah. I paid for pay-per-view once, and I felt like a stupid sucker for it, and guess which fight it was? It was McGregor and Mayweather. Like, that was the ultimate marketing scam. That fight was a big letdown, so... yeah. What can I say? Oh man, Jimmy O'Brien's gone off. He hurt himself. It's like the first time we've seen him touch the bloody ball. A lot of MMA fans appreciate his talent but hate his personality. He is a bit weird. Only fighting I can watch is heavyweight. You don't want to see skinny guys fighting. Bowden or Moonga? Moonga's been the one playing at 10, to be fair. Probably have to go with him at the minute. Bodie's game has changed. He's gone from an electric, like 10 with so much gas. Oh, what a kick from Munster. To like a steady as she goes fullback who's very reliable. Do I watch Top 14? Not a lot, man. They put highlight shows on here, but that's about it. They do put some of the full games on, but yeah. I struggle with time. Pity Coombs hasn't done more today. He hasn't been as, I don't know, like explosive or prominent as we thought he would have been. Areas of Dublin that play rugby aren't keen on McGregor. A lot of areas play soccer, adore him. A lot of young blokes in beards and top knots when I lived in the northern inner city of Dublin. Goodness me. It was a money-making circus act that only went far because Mayweather let it. Yeah, agree. It was a money-making circus. Do you ever watch matches in the pubs with your mates before COVID? Most of my mates don't watch rugby, believe it or not. But yeah, certainly in my younger days, I used to regularly go to the pub to watch the rugby. Now I've got kids, so I'm more likely to either go to the game or watch it at home. Bowden Barrett at 10, Moonga on the bench. He is playing 10 for his club in Japan at the moment. Yeah, they definitely gave him the 10 jersey. I think he wants the 10 jersey, old Bowden. But they even shifted him to fullback for the Blues, which was surprising. He did play a couple of games at 10, but played the majority at 15. I love South African rugby. I do love South African rugby, man. I have a history throughout my teenage years, early 20s, of getting up at stupid o'clock to watch South African rugby. Don't ask me why. Kick of the season so far from Mike Haley. That was a beaut, man. What can I say? I should write a note for it. Still no score in the second half, though. We're already 20 minutes into it. What do New Zealand people think of Joseph Parker, the boxer? Yeah, I think he's decently well liked, but since he lost to Anthony Joshua, interest kind of died away. I think his whole career was set up to get a big payday against Joshua, and then he's pretty much set for life. Fun fact, Van der Vlier's family moved from Holland to Ireland to open a radiator factory. I gotta admit, occasionally, I have been known to, like, tempt fate by saying, like, maybe he's South African, and people always give me heaps of stick about it in the comments. I've only done it, like, once or twice. But I know he's full Irish, even if he's got a Dutch surname. Two missed kicks could be costly for Munster. Yep. One hit the post and one was a really bad miss. Dan Hooker's fighting on the same card tonight. The Hangman. Nice. Mostly here it's about Israel Adesanya, though. Most people don't care about Dan Hooker, to be fair. But Adesanya doesn't fit with the Kiwis' notion of what a Kiwi sports person should be. He's too cocky. We like modest. We like Richie McCaw. Credit to the opposition, credit to my team, not like I'm the man, I'm going to kick your ass. Conor Murray is still the best known in Ireland. He has looked dangerous. I think at halftime he was leading the run meters in this game. So yeah, his sniping runs are dangerous. Mark. Mark Hunt is a Kiwi sports hero. Yeah, I think he lives in Australia, so he's almost more Australian at this point, but his walkaways, other stuff, a legend. How many South African-born players played for the All Blacks? Geez, that's a good question. Darren Whitcomb did. I think he was born in South Africa. Or was he born in Australia? Andrew Mertens. I'm sure there's more than that. Those are the ones off the top of my head. A kiwi, a fruit, or an animal? Kiwi, the people. New Zealanders. What minute is it, Luke? We're at 63:48. It's still 10-6. Leinster have got a line out on their own 10-metre line. Coombs has gone off. Jack O'Donoghue's on. Sexton's off. Ross Burns on. Jordan Lama's out on the wing having a wee run. Scott Fardy's gone off. Still very tight. Oh man, Leinster's kicking for touch has been a bit rubbish, whereas Munster's has been absolutely on point. Ringrose has just put it out on the full. Just too big, man. Chris, man, how is it going? Adam Perore, geez, that's a blast from the past. He was another one that was a bit of a controversial figure. He didn't exactly fit the standard New Zealand mould of be modest and quiet and talk up the opposition and stuff. Ross Burns can't play going backwards. As a South African, I can't be allowed to like Andrew Mertens. Daylander and Tyburn are working so hard. This is true. Andrew Mertens famously gave 2 fingers to the South African crowd when he was over, I think it was in Pretoria. Sexton's shaking his head. He does that a lot when he gets substituted. How's the game? It's been tight, man. It's been very tight. It's definitely a game dominated by defence. The one try of the game was a bit of brutal power rather than some slick skills. But man, Munster's defence has been very impressive. But yeah, Munster's line-out's been a bit off. They've missed a couple of penalties, so neither side's been at 100%. But maybe that's just because they've had a bit of a disruptive build-up, eh? To be fair, Scarlets versus the Blues was a better watch than this. Wasn't that game pretty close as well? 13-10 or something? Or am I thinking of a different game? Can't help but wonder if next score is going to win this one. Chris watched the Curry Cup semis. The feedback on the Curry Cup semis thus far, Chris, has been poor. Is that a fair call? Watched the Bordeaux Racing 92 game. It was good. Lots of tries. I can imagine. Racing 92 are a pretty exciting team to watch. Would love to see Snyman in that Munster team. Yeah, his injury in his first game was a bit of a shocking one. Oh, cheers, Jezza. What have you said there? Can you imagine if Valerie Adams played rugby? If you guys don't know who Valerie Adams is, she is a Kiwi shot putter. She's a big unit, as most shot putters are. She'd have been a wrecking ball. Anyway, this game sounds like a war of attrition, which suits Munster. Good call, man. Thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. This game is definitely going down the attritional route, which is probably why Munster are in front. If they'd kicked those 2 penalties, they would be looking far and away the better team. Like, they'd be looking almost untouchable, given how hard it is to accumulate points in this one. But yeah, Valerie Adams, she's from a family of a bunch of big people. Like, her brother plays in the NBA. He's a giant as well. Yeah, she's a huge unit. She would have been a great rugby player. But I think she's got at least some proper Olympic medals doing what she did. So she's done all right for herself. How tall is Valerie Adams? That's actually good. Valerie Adams is 1.93 m, which I think is similar to Maro Itoje. He's 195. So she's 2 centimeters smaller than Maro Itoje in height. She is a big unit. Lions made a lot of errors. Bulls played well. Okay. Two gold, 1 silver. Yeah, man. She's a proper athlete. 6'4". It's pretty much my height. She's the same height as me. Can't wait for South Africa to join the Pro 14. Irish provinces stagnating last 18 months, proven through international results. It'll certainly be a different challenge for them, eh? Find Leinster a bit arrogant. Ulster have underdog factor. Unless more recently, it's still fantastic what new boys coming through looking brilliant. Sharks versus Western Province was tight. It was raining and a lot of technical penalties. Okay. Could I take Valerie Adams? Nah, man. She'd smash me all day long. She's huge. She shot puts for a living. I work at a computer. No chance. Here we go. What hands from Jordan Lama. Oh my goodness. This game needed some magic. And Jordan Lama's been dropping the high balls, but bloody hell he caught that one, and that was not easy. Wow. Wow. Line out set play. Goes one phase. Van der Fleer. Kick through. What a step. Bloody hell. Whoa. Massive try. Keenan. Wow. All right. Put that on the whiteboard. Yeah. Haven't heard from you for a second, Joe. Oh my goodness. What a kick. 69 minutes. Whoa. What a try. And a step. You're right. First lead change of the game. Whew. Okay. I missed a bunch of comments. Patrick says amazing try. It was. Richard Lowe. Yeah, Richard Lowe is pretty well hated. Count. Pretty well hated. I think he was always a bit of a grub. Leinster will choke. I think James Lowe is injured, Chris, but I'm not 100% sure. Am I live streaming Ospreys Connacht? I don't think so. What time is that game on? I haven't even checked. Very nice try it was. John says it was a sickener. I bet it's a tough one to take if you've been leading for 69 minutes and then the team which hasn't looked like scoring suddenly unleashes a proper bit of magic. Man, 8 minutes to go. Conor Murray is looking pretty downtrodden. Of all the countries in Super Rugby, who do you think have got the best future now? Provincial, I think South Africa will do well in Europe, where New Zealand, Australia will struggle in the long term. Yeah, at least South Africa have got a pretty set path on what competition they're going to be playing in. Wonder if Lowe's performance in the Ireland jersey backfired. He got a lot of stick for that Johnny May try, eh? A lot of stick. CJ Stunder gets chopped down by Luke McGrath. Good tackle. Who do you think will win this year's Six Nations? It'd be nice to see France win it, wouldn't it? Anybody? France? That young team of theirs? Luke needs to go off. I don't think he can because they've already brought Gibson Park on for the winger. What's his name? Because they've only got two backs on the bench and they're already both on. Nobody wants to see France win it. Anybody but England, okay. Scotland, we bottom of the table, says Sophie. Lowers a liability in defence, get a try, concede a try. He might as well stay on the bench. I'd like to say France, but I think England, anyone but Italy, Ireland, Wales, France, and Scotland. Oh, man. Ireland to come third again. Man, it's been a bit of a fall from 2018. I actually haven't checked the fixtures to see who's got who home and away. Like, someone told me in the comments Scotland has got France and England away, which seems pretty tough. Have England got France at home or away? We'll have to change the rules for the Champions Cup to get South African teams playing. That does seem to be like a bit of a anomaly, doesn't it? That they'll be in the Pro 14 like the Cheetahs and the Kings were, but not eligible for any of the European competitions. Home for England versus France. Pro 16 South African team to win. Maybe the Bulls, man, but I don't know. Don't know. Finally one of Ross Burns' kicked work. Wow, it did work pretty well. Scrum time, 74 minutes. Leinster could use a good exit, but they may just want to hang on to the ball. They probably don't want to be playing in their own half, seeing as old Ben Healy's got a pretty big boot on him. England's got France at home, yeah. Need to replace Italy with Georgia. Italy are terrible. I wish we'd gotten to see Italy versus Georgia at the Autumn Nations Cup. That's a tragedy that never happened. Five minutes to go, all to play for. What do you do if you're Munster and you get a penalty? Do you just even it up? Or do you go for a win? Sharks and Bulls are very... Probably Bulls have a good team at the moment, but they didn't. And didn't sort of to buy the Sharks, meaning they'll get more money soon too. Keep Italy. I bet Italy versus Georgia every year would be a classy fixture. Italy brings in a lot more coin than Georgia, which is, I think, very heavily in Italy's favour. James Lowe was exposed by Johnny May twice for his tries. Yeah, he got a lot of stick for that game, like I said. He did an interview on some podcast after that, basically defending himself, saying Johnny May can make a lot of people look stupid, not just me. But, yeah, it is what it is. Go for the 7 and bathe in Leinster tears. 4 minutes to go. Munster got the ball. Box kicking it. Another one where they struggle with the high ball. But it's a Munster knock on, so Leinster get to play on. And they do not want to be playing down that end of the field. May is one of the best wingers in the world, to be fair. Indeed. Is Georgia captain still injured? That's... what's his name? I want to say Brickvadza, but that's the hooker. Gorgadza? Yeah, I think he's still injured. It was pretty serious. Italy has won 12 Six Nations games in 21 years. That's a disgrace. Apparently they got some young talent coming through. Yeah, Gorgadza, that's the one. Thank you, Sophie. 2.5 minutes to go. You got to think Munster have got to keep the ball in hand now. They can't just keep kicking it. This is not working. We South Africans and Kiwis should hope France peaks now. Pretty sure neither wants to run into them in a World Cup home quarter final. That's a fair point. You're looking into the future for that one. Tyke Burns got player of the match. It's not even close anymore. Last 10 and we've turned them over 9 times. I mean, playing Munster. There's just no competition anymore, Joe. Shots fired once again. We'll see how many you reel in. Italy, in my opinion, half the country is into rugby. Northern half, southern half is into soccer. Yeah, I think it's only really the north. Only certain areas of the north which is into rugby. A minute and 40 seconds to go before we hit 80. Munster can't give the ball away here. They're in Leinster's half. See if that Larkin magic can do anything. Earls has just fallen with nobody around him. Does alright. Byrne is the Neymar of rugby. I don't know what to make of that. Oh, Dale Enders just knocked it on. Joe's having a ball with that one. Damien's shocked. I think that's the game, Jez. I think you might be right, mate. 30 seconds to go. Surely Leinster have done enough. Unless Munster can turn the screws at scrum time. How much did they pay for him? He's still a good player. But, yeah, that's not his finest moment. 20 seconds to go. Last minute drop goal. Can't see it unless Munster can somehow get the ball back. How did Leinster do that? They did a Leinster, man. It's what they do. Carry it one phase. They need to get it out. And then they will kick it into touch. Boomfa. Wow. I thought for a while Leinster were looking without a chance. That Munster defence was ferocious, but then that proper bit of magic. Byrne to Keenan to Lama. What a try. Only 2 tries in it, man. 2 missed penalties from Munster. Pretty costly. I don't know. You can't blame Henry Henders for that, but still. Yeah, as Jezza said, 2 missed kicks will haunt Munster. Right. Joe says never in doubt. Oh, goodness me. Alright. You guys all take care of yourselves. Close game. Low scoring, but very tight. Very tight. Yeah. You guys all take care. And I'll see you guys for another one soon. Take it easy. Stay safe. Bye.